Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Free or Flee. I'm Matt from Digital.Flash.Fire, and along with me today is my friend Nix. Hi Nix.
Hi there.
So for people just learning about this segment, we play free-to-play games and give people a general idea of it. Nothing too specific, but enough that they can make a decision as to whether or not they should try it and move on to something else. And what do we got in the barrel for today?
Today we are talking about TERA, a free-to-play action combat MMO from the developer Bluehole Studios.
Yes, and put out by NMAS Entertainment here in the States for us. We can enjoy it. So I started playing recently, and I've been having a lot of fun with it because we've been playing a lot together. But you've been playing a lot longer than I have. So, like, in the long run, is it worth it?
Yes, I do believe it's worth it because it is pretty much the first, or at least one of the ones that started the action combat, and I feel like it would be a great way to get into that type of gameplay and be able to have some fun and spend some time playing a decent game.
Yeah, so there's actually a couple other MMOs that are out right now, stuff like Vindictus or Dragon's Nest, and they're like action MMOs. It almost feels a lot like Dynasty Warriors when you're playing through.
Yeah.
So what's going to be familiar and what's sort of new from a traditional MMO that you'll find in Terra?
Since you brought up Dragon's Nest and Vindictus, those games are generally very, in my opinion, they're very dungeony. You just run through this area, kill these mobs, and you do it over and over again. I mean, that's what I did in Vindictus.
Yeah.
That's all I did. But with TERA, you do have this questing system, even though it's generic, a lot like Ion or a Final Fantasy MMO. It does have this appeal for the graphics and the combat, but other than that, it is a normal MMO with the normal questing system and go here, kill this, bring this item back.
Yeah, 12 spiders and boars and stuff, which is good because it's an easy transition, I think, for people who are coming off of some of these other MMOs and want to try something that's not going to cost them $15 a month. So how does being like mouse locked, which is the big difference, you can't just be moving around on your screen and clicking stuff, when you're not locked in, there's a way to unlock it with the Alt button, but when you're not unlocked, your mouse is locked in, and where you point is where you're looking, is where your spells go. And how do you think that sort of changes the combat approach?
Truthfully, it is a little hard to get into in the beginning. I mean, when we were playing Arcade, that was just hold down the button. It's just going on its own.
Yeah.
Honestly, which is hard to get into. But because of that, you're able to respond a lot quickly without having to hold on to your mouse button just to get it so it'll lock onto the enemy. You're able to move, get away, you can aim as well as you want to aim, get to the area you need to get to, and also you have the ability to not be locked on, so that allows you to run away, get away from whatever is like about to kill you, or allows you to focus on other mobs around the area without having to tab combat or tab switch between them.
That's cool stuff. Any recommendations on a good starting class? Do you have a favorite? Because I know that for me, I tried Lancer, and it's fun, but it was simple. Berserker for me was awesome, so I would recommend Berserker.
If you're wanting a good class to start out with, it would either have to be a sorcerer or an archer due to their range capabilities, and they have a decent mobility. Archer has less damage than a sorcerer, of course, and a sorcerer has a teleport and a dodge. Both classes allow for you to get into the action combat a lot faster without the need of being afraid to get hit, because you usually won't with those kind of classes.
And I would probably say stay away from Lancer, stay away from Mystic. Mystic is cool, you get a pet, but it's a weird approach.
Mystic is a strange class because it is pretty much a support healer. It supports Priest, which is the main healer.
Yeah.
And the Mystic does have the pets. They have a tanking pet, they have a huge DPS, and they have a healing pet, and they drop Skittles, the healing motes and mana motes, which is cool, but I'm not really a fan of Mystics. You can give it a shot to see how that plays for you, but they're a little bit more difficult, and the heals aren't as great in comparison to a Priest. Well,
thank you so much, Nix. I know that we're going to play a lot more hours in TERA together, and I want to thank you for joining me today for Free or Flee.
No problem. I had a lot of fun doing this.
Cool. And thanks to you guys at home for tuning in. I hope this gave you a little insight into the free-to-play MMO TERA, available on Steam. This has been Free or Flee. I am Matt. We are Digital.Flash.Fire, and you guys have a great week.